Hello, today I'm going to discuss about DDoS attack simulation and mitigation strategies using a Cisco packet tracer simulator. Let us see the table of the content of today we are going to discuss. One is introduction to DDoS attacks. Second one is Cisco packet tracer setup. And the third one is we are discussing the simulating methods of DDoS attack and the mitigation strategies of DDoS, and we are discussing about the testing and validation of DDoS, and then we are also discussing the future works and the key findings of this session. Next, let us discuss the introduction of DDoS attack. Mainly, what is a DDoS attack? DDoS attack means a distributed denial of service attack is a malicious attempt to distribute normal traffic of a targeted server service or the network by overwhelming it with a flood of traffic. And let us compare the DDoS with the DOS. In DDoS attack originates from the multiple sources, making them harder to stop than a single source denial of service. DDoS attack impacts availability, causing service outrages from legitimate users. Common DDoS attack types are volume-based attack, flood the network with traffic, protocol attacks, exploit server resources, and the application layer attack target specific application to exhaust their resources. Next, why does the simulation is required for DDoS attack? There are mainly three segments. One is understanding attack vectors. That is, simulation allows us to analyze how different types of attacks impact network infrastructure and identify the vulnerability and prepare proactive defenses. And then we are discussing about the testing mitigation strategies. In this, there will be a simulations provide a safe environment to test the effectiveness of the various mitigation techniques and without risking disruption to live network once again. And then we are using a hands-on learning. In that, the practical simulations enhance the understanding and skills in network security, making it easier to implement and manage real-world defenses. Let us discuss as how does Cisco packet tracer is set up. First of all, installing of Cisco packet tracer is important by the two major sections. One is downloading packet tracer by available. It is available for free from the Cisco Networking Academy. Ensure you download the correct version for your operating system and installation steps, whereas it follows the on-screen prompts to install the software. A Cisco Networking Academy account may be required for full access to features. So let us discuss the building of the network topology within the Cisco packet tracer. There are three segments mainly. First one is network devices. In this, we include routers, switches, servers, and client PCs to simulate a realistic network environment. Consider adding firewalls and intrusion detection system. Let us come to the configuration of IP addresses. Assigning a static or dynamic IP address to all the network devices to enable communication, ensure proper subnetting and gateway configurations, and then we will check for the verifying of the connectivity using the ping command to ensure all the devices can communicate with each other before proceeding with attack simulation. So now let us discuss about how does the DDoS attack is simulated. First one is simulating the volume-based attacks. That is the major segment where the heavy loaded data are being transferred. In that we have two major categories. One is using packet generators. Another one is configuring attack parameters. Using packet generators, in this, the packet tracer includes packet generation tools, configure multiple PCs to send high volumes of ICMP or UDP packets to a target server. In the configuring attack parameters, there will be a set of parameters like packet size, destination port, and the attack duration. Monitor the target server's performance using resource monitoring tools. So let us discuss about the simulating application layer attacks. In this, we have two major steps. One is HTTP flood simulation and slow release attack simulation. In HTTP flood simulation, use packet tracer scripting capabilities to simulate multiple clients sending rapid HTTP requests to a web server, monitor server response times. In slow release attack simulation, configure slow but persistent HTTP connection to exhaust server resources. Observe the impact on the server ability to handle the legitimate traffic. Whereas next is monitoring the network performance. It is of two stages. One is using the network monitoring tools, whereas the packet tracers includes tools to monitor CPU usage, memory utilization, and network bandwidth. Use these to observe the impact of the attack. Next one is analyzing the network traffic. In this, we capture and analyze network traffic using packet tracer packet capture feature, identify malicious traffic patterns and sources. So let us now discuss about the DDoS mitigation strategies. Whereas firstly, we will discuss about the rate limiting. It is the major segment which is used for the mitigation strategies. It has two segments, whereas it has two segments. One is implementing rate limiting on routers. Another one is configuring thresholds. In implementing the rate limiting on routers, configure routers to limit the number of packets or connections from a single source within a specific time frame. This can reduce the impact of volume based attacks. In the configuring threshold, set of appropriate thresholds to balance the protection and legitimate traffic flow, monitor and adjust the thresholds as needed. Whereas the firewall configuration, in this also there is two major strategies. One is blocking malicious traffic and another one is creating a web application firewall. In blocking malicious traffic, configure firewalls to block traffic from known malicious IP addresses or regions. Use IP reputation services to identify the suspicious sources. Whereas in web application firewall, we will implement a WAF to filter and analyze the HTTP traffic, protecting against the application layer attacks like HTTP floods and SQL injection. Whereas in intrusion detection and the prevention systems, we have two major sections. One is deploying IDS or IPS, whereas it places the IDS or IPS devices strategically in the network to detect the block malicious traffic patterns, configure signature based and anomaly based detection. Analyzing alerts. In this, regularly we will review the IDS or IPS alerts to identify and respond to potential attacks, fine tune the rules to minimize the false positives. Next is load balancing. In load balancing, also we have two major strategies. One is distributing traffic, another one is scaling resources. Distributed trafficking use loads balancer to distribute traffic across multiple servers. This can help prevent a single server from being overwhelmed during an attack. Scaling resources. In this, automatically scales the resources based on traffic demand to maintain service availability during attacks. Consider cloud-based scaling solutions. Next, let us discuss the testing and validation. In this, we are first discussing the testing mitigation effectiveness. Here also there is two major categories. One is the rerunning simulation, another one is analyzing results. In rerunning simulation, repeat the DDoS attack simulations with mitigation strategies in place. Monitor network performance to evaluate the effectiveness. Whereas in analyzing the results, compare network performance metrics. For example, CPU usage, response time, with and without mitigation quantify the improvement in resilience. Whereas refining mitigation strategies include adjusting configurations, updating security policies, adjusting configurations, fine tune rate limiting thresholds, firewall rules, and IDS or IPS signatures based on simulation results, continuously adapt to evolving attack patterns. Whereas in updating security policies, regularly reviews and update security policies to incorporate lessons learned from simulations and real world incidents, maintain a proactive security posture. So before going to the conclusion and recommendation, let us see the practical application of the DDoS attack. I have opened the Cisco packet tracer. In that, firstly, I'm taking three PCs. One is PC0, PC1, and PC2. Whereas the PC0 is the legitimate device, and the PC1 and the PC2 are the attack devices. Next, let us take the switch. That is 29. 2960, and the next is router. We have to take it from 2911. Then we have to take the server from the end as the main server, which will provide the access to the other PCs through the firewall. Let us make the connection. First, I will connect from PC0 of fast Ethernet 0 to switch of fast Ethernet 0 bar 1, and next we have to connect from PC1 of fast Ethernet 0 to switch of fast Ethernet 0 bar 2. Next, we have to connect PC2 of fast Ethernet 0 to switch off fast Ethernet 03. Next, we are connecting the switch and the router, whereas we are using the fast Ethernet 0 from bar 24 and the gigabyte Ethernet 0 bar 0. And then we are connecting the router of gigabyte 0 bar 1 to a fast Ethernet 0. Now the connection is over. Let us incorporate the IP address for each PCs and the default gateway address also. I'm clicking on PC0, and in that I'm going to desktop, and then I'm clicking on IP configuration. I'm giving the IP address 192.168.1.2 for PC0. The subnet mask is automatically generated. Let us copy this so that we can add the default gateway. Default gateway is 192.168.1.1. This will be same for all the three PCs. Next, for PC1, again I'm going to desktop and IP configuration, and I'm filling the IP address like 1.2 is of PC0, 1.3 is of PC1, and I'm entering. The subnet mask has been generated, and then I'm setting the default gateway as 192.168.1.1. Now let us keep the IP address for PC2, 192.168.1.4, enter, and then for default gateway we are giving 1.1. So now we will set the IP address for on the main server that is providing the data also, IP config, and I'm giving the IP address to this as 2.2, enter, and the default gateway is 2.1. 2.1. So let us close this. Next, I'm going to configure the router interface with IP addresses. So I have provided all the IP addresses. So that has to be placed inside the router so that the connection will be easier to communicate from the server to the PC. So after clicking on router, you will see the CLI or config. Go to the CLI, whereas it should it ask for press return to get started. So we have to press enter. So after seeing the router and the greater than symbol, we have to start enabling the interface so that we can configure the Ethernet 0 bar 0 and the Ethernet 0 bar 1 to the router to mm, pass the information through the gateway easily. First, we have written the enable command, then we will give the command config T for the configuration. Then we enter the configuration stage. Now we will configure the interface gigabyte Ethernet 0 bar 0 to the router. So that's for that we are writing interface gigabyte Ethernet 0 bar 0, enter. So we have entered the if loop of configuration. Then we will provide the IP addresses range. IP address 192.168.1.1 to 255.255.255.0. So we have incorporated the IP address to the configuration. Then it should be always up. The signal should be always up. So that's why no shutdown command is given. Then after the all the configuration is done, let us type the exit. Next, we will configure the gigabyte Ethernet 0 bar 1 so that we are giving the command as interface gigabit Ethernet 0 bar 1. So it entered the if loop. Now we will give the IP address, whereas it will ranges from the 2.1, 2.1 to 255.0 IP address. Next, for the um, next we will give shutdown, no shutdown, so that always the signal will be up. Next, we are clicking on exit. So now the server can be able to communicate with the PCs. So before there has been red color of arrow mark so that there is no connectivity between the main server and the PCs. Now after configuration, we have got the green arrows so that the connectivity has been done in a proper way. So now we have to save this connectivity. So we are giving the end command to exit from the config mode. Then we are giving the write memory so that it will be written inside the memory. And then we are coming out of the configuration building. Next, after setting up all the things, we have to check whether the status of the interface is correct or not. So for that, we are giving show IP interface brief. So it will show the detail that it has been made those interfaces status up so that we can communicate easily now. That means before that, before it has not been configured, so we cannot pass the process or the data with from the router to the PCs. Now we can transfer the data. Now we have to check whether the server is server's HTTP status is active or not. So for that, we will go to the now we will close this. We will go to server, and we will go to services in the server, and we will click on HTTP. It is already on. So now I'm going to edit the index.html page so that I can see whether the page is enabled to transfer to the PCs, related PCs. So I'm adding welcome to my Cisco packet tracer page. So then I'm saving it. It will ask whether I have to save or overwrite this already presented index.html. I will click yes. It has been saved now. I will close the toggled window, and then now I will be testing whether the web service server access is done or not. For that, I'm clicking on PC0, and I'm going to in that I'm clicking on web browser, and then I'm typing the U. First, we have to check with the server only, so that we have to go to desktop of the server, and we have to click web browser, and then HTTP colon double slash 192.168.2.2. Then I'm clicking go. Yes, it is ready for the this page is ready to pass on to the other PCs. Now let us click on the PCs and confirm that the access is enabled. So I'm clicking on PC0, and in that I'm clicking on web browser and typing the same URL 192.168.2.2. Then I'm clicking on go. Yes, the page is available for the PC0. Next, the attacker device, that is PC1. Uh, in this, I'm going with the web browser, and I'm typing the same IP address, HTTP colon 192.168.2.2, and then I'm clicking go. Yes, the page is accessible for the attackers also. For PC2, let us check web browser HTTP colon double slash 192.168.2.2. Then I'm clicking go. Yes, it is available for PC2 also. Now I have to disable the content that are being accessed by the PC1 and PC2, because the PC1 and PC2 are the attackers. Here I cannot show the flooding effect, overloading of the data, because it is not a real time network that has been connected. So I'm simply accessing the main page. So now I have to deny the pages that have been accessed by the attackers again and again. So I have to go to the router. In that, I have to apply the ACL rule. That means access control list. I have to control the list of routers that are accessing the web pages that is used for the malicious effect. So in that I'm clicking router. In that I'm going for a CLI with the same page. So in that, uh, I'm I'm giving the enable command. Then I'm giving the config t. So it has entered the configuration terminal. Then I have to give the command that access list 101 deny deny IP deny IP 192.168.1.3, and we are giving the subnet mask as 0.0.0.0 any. In this, the access, sorry, spelling has been overwritten. Access list 101 deny means it will be creating the ACL list, and this deny IP address will perform that we are blocking the IP traffics that are sent from the PC1. So next we are clicking enter. Oh, access spelling is wrong. Wait, I will edit it. Now the access list has been updated. Next, I will update the list with two for PC2 also 1.4 1.4. So the two PCs IP traffics will be blocked for the next time. So there will be no process that will be accessed by the PC1 and PC2. Now I'm applying the ACL to the router, that is access 101 permit IP in. Next, I am configuring with the interface about this details. Interface giga gigabit Ethernet 0 bar 0. So I have entered the if loop of the configuration. Then I'm giving the IP access group that I have been updated in the access list has been given to the interface that it should update its routing table group 101 in enter. So next I'm exiting from the configuration information. Next, I have to save this configuration. So I'm using end and then I'm writing it to the memory. Next, the configuration has been updated in the router. Next, I'm testing for the final, that is the attacker PC should not get the access control over the server that is providing the services. So for PC0, it will be available because it is a legitimated device. For let us click on PC1, PC0. In PC0, I will go to the web browser to check whether it is available or not. 192.168.2.2, and let me click on go. Yes, it is available for PC0. For PC1 it should not be available. Let us check, is it available or not. /192.168.2.2. Yes, it is not available. It takes some time to display. Yes. Request timeout because it is denied from the router itself. For PC2 also, it should be same. Let us see. http://192.168.2.2. We will wait for some time. It will be shown here that request timeout. Yes, it is also been denied. So this is the major connection that will happen to mitigate the DDoS attacks. So now let us go inside the conclusion part. We have saw the practical application in that majorly the DDoS attack has been limited for within the connected devices that has been tracked, which is the legitimate device and which is the attacker device inside the server. So let us move on to the conclusion and the recommendation parts. Whereas in conclusion, we find the key findings of the result. Summary of the result is it will summarize the effectiveness of the different mitigation strategies in the packet tracer simulation and highlights the key insights and lessons learned from this. And let us see the limitations of simulations are it acknowledges the simplified network model. It is less realistic traffic and it emphasizes the importance of the real world testing. The best practice for the DDoS mitigation is proactive measures. Implement the proactive measures such that network segmentation, access control, and regular vulnerability assessments maintain a strong security foundation. Next, incident response plan. This will develop a detailed incident response plan for DDoS attack include roles, responsibilities, communication protocols, and escalation procedures. So at last, what are all the future enhancements are advanced simulation technique. That is, explore more advanced simulation techniques such as using realistic traffic generators and modeling complex attack scenarios. And the second one is integration with real world tools. In that, the investigate integrating packet traces simulation with real world security tools and platform. This can be provide more accurate and practical training so that the DDoS can be applicable using the SDN network simulator and the other .NET simulator and also. So we have to enhance with the further coding work to detect the DDoS in a faster way and to mitigate it. And so these are all the strategies that we have discussed today. Thank you for watching the video. Thank you so much. Let us stop here.